What's up, BookTube? It is October 2020, and I'm getting ready to give you my TBR. And because October is the month of Halloween, I'm going to have some scary selections that I'm going to be reading. They won't all be scary, but a few of them probably will be. That's coming up next. So first up, I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I had actually originally scheduled to read in September, but I decided after thinking about it a little bit more, I'm going to hold these two off until the month of October because I think they fit better with the month of October, and I'm glad I did. So the first one that I'm going to read is Fantastic Land, and this is a book, Mike Bakoven is a book that I talked about previously on my TBR for the month of September, and again, I decided not to read it for September because I just think it's going to be a little bit more appropriate for the month of October. And here's a little bit of the teaser on the inside cover. Get ready for a struggle for survival in the unlikeliest of places. Prepare to visit Funland. It's a little bit of a period piece in that it takes place in the 1970s, but you get a little bit of a kind of a Lord of the Flies kind of feel there. I haven't read Lord of the Flies, but I do want to. And I thought, you know what, this would be really interesting. I just kind of stumbled across it on Amazon, and I decided, hey, I'm going to pick this one up. Next up is another book that I decided to hold off on, and that is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. And this is another one of those books that I was talking about that takes place at a boarding school, and so I decided that I'm going to hold off on this one for September and save it for October because I think it maybe fits a little bit better with October. So you got kind of this mystery from the past, and you also got like a present timeline as well. This is actually a part of a series of books. I actually have 3 of the books, and I think somebody told me that there's a 4th book coming out in this series, so keep my eyes out on that one. Well, at least if this one goes well. Next up is another book that I talked about several months ago, but I never really got around to, but I think October might be a good month to do that, and that is Never Have I Ever by Jocelyn Jackson. In this game, even winning can be deadly. I think that says a lot about this book. I'm excited about finally jumping into this one. I've had success in the past with Jocelyn Jackson, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Next up is a book that's maybe not as scary, but still has a mystery to it, and that is The Last Story of Mina Lee by Nancy Julian Kim. I'm looking forward to this one. I just started it actually. I'm about like 30 pages into it, and it's already looking pretty good. So I'm definitely excited about this one. I'm actually buddy reading this. Stay posted for something that's going to be coming up later about that. But I'm really excited about reading this particular book. I think it's going to be really good. I had a friend of mine that said, hey, this is a really good book. So, and I really value her opinion. So I'm definitely excited about reading this one. I think it's going to be a good one. For these last 4, I'm going to go old school here. And this is an author that maybe is not super well known to a lot of you, but this is an author that I've read in the past, and including one of these books, but I'm going to reread this particular book because I read it probably when I was maybe just out of high school, and I really definitely want to read it again. And that is Bad Desire by Gary Devin. And this is kind of a Fatal Attraction type of a story, and yet a thriller, psychological thriller at the same time. But it's just one of those obsession type stories. You know, they had a ton of obsession movies in like the 80s and 90s, and so I think after Fatal Attraction, I think every like 7th movie was like a story about some kind of fatal attraction type of a situation. And so this one is very similar, but I'm really excited about reading this one again. And next up, staying on that Gary Devin tune, I'm gonna go with Wedding Night, and this is the one that I have not actually read. On the cover it says Till Death Do You Part. Atlanta Journal-Constitution, a shocker. A story to keep you up all night, sublimely suspenseful and cunningly plotted. This is one wedding night Hitchcock would have loved. So 2 Gary Devin books that I'm looking forward to reading. Old school, but I think they're going to be kind of fun. And lastly, you know that you cannot read scary books in the month of October and not have something by Stephen King. I am really excited. I got on eBay and I was able to find a couple of Stephen King books that I did not have and I've never read. I've seen both movies, but I've never read the books, and that is Firestarter, one that I'm really excited about reading. Drew Barrymore, one of my favorite actresses of all time. And the other is The Shining. And if you remember the movie The Shining, Jack Nicholson, who doesn't like Jack Nicholson? I mean, he's a pretty impressive actor. So these are two books I'm definitely looking forward to reading. Two a little bit longer books, but I'm really looking forward to reading these two old school horror classics. So looking forward to reading these two, Firestarter and The Shining. So there you have it, what I'm planning right now for October 2020. Some horror stuff, some suspense, some thriller, a little bit of everything, I think, for the month of October. And of course, you know, I'll probably blow it up and I'll probably go in some different directions. Of course, I'll probably swap some things out or add some things in. So we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm planning so far for the month of October. Stay with me on this journey. Let me know what you're reading in the comment section below. Maybe you're reading some of the same books that I am reading, or maybe you've already read some of these books that I'm reading. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for joining me on this BookTube journey. If you would, please hit that subscribe button for the channel to support the channel. And if you would be so kind, please hit the like button for this particular video and stay with me on this journey, because we're not done.